What's up guys, today we are at Adventureland Park in Altoona, Sandwich, Iowa. I came to this park for the first time back in 2020, like literally the first week they were open after the COVID lockdown. When I was here for the first time, it was still independently owned. It is now owned by Palace Entertainment, so I'm excited to see what changes the company has made ever since they bought the park out. No real set agenda today, I'm just gonna have a fun day here and adventure on in. So Flying Viking literally just opened a few days ago, and I planned this trip like months ago, so I really lucked out to get this ride. So let's do this as our first ride for the day.
12 seconds later.
On second thought, I'm gonna wait until a little bit later in the day to try Flying Viking. It's like one of the first things you see in the park, and it's a brand new attraction. It's got a long line right now, and one train obviously. So I'll try it a little bit later. So I've been here for about an hour or so and have not ridden anything yet because it's been storming and these storms just won't go away. I guess you could say that these storms are just dragging along. After being in the park for about an hour and a half, they finally opened up a few rides. Just got on Monster. That is definitely the best Gerstlauer in the country. I guess every once in a while Gerstlauer can get something right. There's no potholes in this whatsoever. There's no rattle, no nothing. It's perfectly smooth. Awesome forces to it. Excuse me, free fall. This is a family park. Why are you topless? So I just did Tornado. I did it in the second row. They weren't taking RoboQuest, and this is assigned row 2. It was actually still pretty good. It was a lot better than my rides on it back in 2020. I could tell that they've done a little retracking in some parts. It was relatively smooth. Not too many rough parts to it, and solid pops of airtime throughout the ride too. I might try it again later today in the back row and see if it's any better in the back. But I think a dragon is calling my name now. Things are starting to open up. Let's go slay a dragon. So I just did Dragon Slayer twice. Of course I did it on the night side, which is the side that spins a lot more. This is by far the best SNS free spinner I've ever been on in my life. The spinning on this thing, it ain't right. It just ain't right. But I love everything about that. This is so much fun. All right, the time has come to pillage. I just did Flying Viking in the back row. I mean, it is what it is for being a family coaster. It's cute, fun. This whole area is a cool little addition for the park. How the log flume and the coaster are kind of intertwined. All the theming kind of correlating together. Works pretty cool. I think I better move. Yeah, glad I moved. Well, I guess you could say this swinging ship really gives you the boot. Okay, this has to be the worst name for a business I've ever seen. Like, they had to have known what they were doing. Come on. Oh look, it's Laugh Track if it actually spun and if it was outdoors. So yeah, as to no surprise, I spun a lot more than Laugh Track. It's an identical clone of Laugh Track. I guess you could just say that the layout kind of rings a bell. Well, my will for puns is kind of gone.
Stop it.
God have mercy upon my soul. Look at all these assholes here. And you know what's coming next. I was today a year old when I found out that Bernie Sanders had a swing. Alright, Outlaw opened up finally. Let's see if this is running just as good as it was back in 2020, because when I rode this in 2020, I was shocked how good this ride was. Okay, I just did Outlaw 5 times and 3 times in the back row. Yeah, that's just as good as it was in 2020, if not a little bit better. Like, you do the first drop, go up the first hill, do the turn, going down off that first turn. It is ridiculous. If you did not have your seatbelt on, you will be stapled upon the buzz bar. Also, shout out to Peyton, who I ran into while on the ride. Also, ride with you a few times, dude. All right, let's do this one more time, because why not? I had a little time left. Never before in my life have I felt sick after a coaster because of the spinning on it. I thought my rides earlier today on Dragon Slayer were crazy. This was absolutely absurd. There was one point, I'm pretty sure it was like 10 times I flipped. If you don't like spinning, don't ride that ride. If you like spinning, ride that ride. I feel like I'm looking at what the crowds today, because that just did Monster 5 times, and that normally has the longest line in the park, and now I'm doing Tornado again, and it's practically a walk-on. I am not going to complain about this. Alright, I did Tornado twice in the back row. I've really grown a new love for that ride. It's running so much better than what it did in 2020. It's borderline ejector on most of the hills in the back row. It's so freaking good. Alright, I got like 15 minutes left. I want to do this beautiful creation here. I did not plan that, actually. That just happened like that. That was cool. I just did Monster 2 more times to finish off my time here at Adventureland. This is Gerstlauer's masterpiece, at least in this country. This is by far the best Gerstlauer coaster in the United States. I know there's a lot of cool ones in Europe, but I haven't been that yet. So the best one in the country. All right, my time here is up, so park exit montage. What's up? I know a Ride Guy vlog is never complete until we do one thing, and one thing specifically. A valid candidate right here. We want to support Monster. I love you, Monster.
I love you too.
my time here at Adventureland, this park really is a hidden gem. Even though it's been bought up by Palace Entertainment, they kept a lot of the old school charm and the family-owned vibes and feel to the park that it had before they owned the park. They've added a lot of new smaller family rides and flat rides that I didn't remember from last time, but the park overall just has a really nice charm to it. It's very enjoyable, and the coaster lineup is pretty solid. As I said earlier, Monster is the best Gerstlauer in this country. There's no debating that. There's no question. It just simply is. The Outlaw is like one of the most underrated wooden coasters I've ever been on. There is one credit that has still eluded me now after 2 visits, and that's the Underground. It's going under refurbishments right now. It should be open, I think, in a few weeks. I guess it gives me another reason to come back to this amazing park, despite being like 17 hours away from home. I'll find my way back here eventually, I'm sure. All right, Ryan for post, ride count, right there. All right, guys, I've wrapped the video up here. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next loop. See ya.